When I first checked into the old, towering hotel on the edge of the city, I noticed something strange. The elevator panel skipped a number. There was no button for the 13th floor. Curious, I asked the receptionist about it, and she froze for a moment before forcing a smile.
There's no 13th floor.
Then she handed me my key. That moment stuck with me, gnawing at my thoughts. But it wasn't until later that I discovered the horrifying truth. I was assigned to a room on the 12th floor, and everything seemed normal at first. The room was clean, with an incredible view of the skyline. Then the first night, I woke up to faint knocking. At first I thought it was coming from beneath my bed. Heart pounding, I leapt up and turned on the lights. There was nothing under the bed, just an eerie silence that felt too thick to be real. I convinced myself it was a dream, but as I settled back into the sheets, I heard it again. This time, it was louder. A knock, knock, knock from somewhere deep below me. The next morning, I reported it to the front desk. The receptionist hesitated, then said,
We'll send someone to check it out.
Her tone told me she wouldn't. Shrugging it off, I spent the day exploring the city. But that night, the noises grew worse. Scratches, whispers, faint voices that sounded like they were coming through the floor. I couldn't sleep. I pressed my ear to the floor and froze. The sounds were clearer now, calling, please, and something that sent chills down my spine. A voice repeating, scratches, whispers, faint voices, crying out for my birthday. In the morning, I demanded answers. I asked the staff if there was anything under the 12th floor. The 11th floor, they replied curtly, avoiding my gaze. What about the 13th floor? I asked, and their expressions darkened. They ignored me, brushing off my questions with fake smiles and forced laughter. Determined, I spent hours online researching the hotel's history. That's when I found it. Years ago, before renovations, the building had a 13th floor, but it was sealed off after a series of unexplained events. Guests staying on that floor reported horrifying encounters, shadows in their rooms, cold hands pulling at them while they slept, and violent knocking from the walls. Then, one night, a guest disappeared entirely. The hotel claimed they jumped, but no body was ever found. Terrified but unable to resist, I decided to investigate. Late that night, I pried open the elevator doors on the 12th floor with a crowbar I'd found in a janitor's closet. Behind the metal panel, there was a ladder leading downward. With a flashlight in hand, I descended. The space below the 12th floor wasn't a regular room. It was narrow, suffocating, and lined with old, peeling wallpaper. The air was damp, carrying a foul, metallic smell. My flashlight beam caught faded numbers painted on the wall. 13. As I crept further, the whispers began again. They were louder now, urgent, echoing from the dark. The hallway stretched endlessly, lined with old, rotting doors. One of them was slightly ajar, and the whispers seemed to be coming from within. Against my better judgment, I pushed the door open. The room was empty, save for a single chair in the center and claw marks raked across the walls. The whispers stopped as I stepped inside, replaced by a deafening silence. Then the door slammed shut behind me. Panic surged through me. I pounded on the door, screaming for help, but no one answered. Suddenly, the whispers returned, louder than ever, rising to a crescendo. Then I saw them, faces emerging from the walls, their hollow eyes locked onto me. The chair moved on its own, sliding across the floor toward me. The whispers turned to screams, and the walls began to close in. I was trapped, suffocating, unable to move. Just when I thought it was over, the floor gave way, and I fell. I woke up in my room on the 12th floor, gasping for air. Everything looked normal, but I knew it wasn't. My body ached, my clothes were damp, and my hands were covered in dust. I fled the hotel that morning, vowing never to return, but even now, I still hear the whispers. Late at night, when the world is quiet, they creep into my ears, reminding me of the horrors I saw. I tried to warn others, but the hotel still operates. Guests come and go, oblivious to what lies beneath their feet. I only hope they don't hear the knocking, because once you hear it, there's no escape.